Everybody, welcome to episode 86 of Jason's mom's favorite podcast, Toys for Games Cast. We are recording this on Wednesday, August 24th, 2016. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who's already standing on a soapbox, Jason Greer.
Good evening. How are we doing tonight, Josh?
Fantastic. I got the soapbox out of the closet, dusted it off a little bit for you. Put it front and center.
Hope you raised it a little bit.
I
gotta make sure I'm up and ready to go.
That's true. That's true.
I told you to do a mic check today.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Got the levels adjusted. I'm going to be playing with the soundboard here when things get a little crazy.
Sure.
Potentially going to get loud. On the limited edition, I promised an epic rant on Twitter. I think I said the same thing. People are not ready for what's about to happen. Now, if they know you at all, they could probably have some sort of guess as to what's coming and how it's going to sound. Just from like the few text messages I've gotten about it from you and knowing what you have to say and what you think about it and just being around you when you get super passionate about something, I'm just going to sit back and listen, man. I promised you I might play devil's advocate and try to make it a two-sided conversation here. I can't promise that anymore. This might be just a let Jason go type of night.
And I told you, I was like, I apologize if I offended anybody last week. Sometimes I feel like, some of my rants are going to, some people might get mad and, hopefully they don't stop listening to the podcast and like that. Sure. But I hope tonight, I feel like it's going to be 99.9% of the people are going to agree with me on it. So yeah, I'm just ready to rock and roll. And as I said last week, which is all before we knew what was happening, that hopefully I can be the voice of the community with legitimate issues like this. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Also, kind of want to forewarn people, this is going to be a super lengthy show. We don't have that much news to talk about. One main topic to talk about, and that's going to center around Jason's rant here. We have some news to cover, but it's not a news heavy show this week. We're also doing it a little bit earlier than we did last week, and there's some things happening that it's just not going to be your normal 3-hour episode. So don't freak out, folks. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll be back to form as soon as we have more things to talk about. And more stories to tell, so it's going to be okay. We'll get through it together, I promise. Before we start, though, need to check in. Battlecast tournament still going on?
Still going on.
Okay, how's it?
Took out Seabass this weekend.
Nice.
With my super secret card.
Ooh.
And
are you keeping that close to the chest, or you want to reveal?
No, I've talked about it multiple times. And Seabass even knew it was coming. He was trying to, prepare himself for the card, and almost got it, but couldn't stop the wrath of the card.
Nice, well done.
So I think it's down to the final 4-ish. So I'm still alive, and I think 3 people don't listen to the podcast. So I'm hanging in there.
They might listen. You don't know.
I'm pretty sure I know.
They might just be quiet.
Well, let me put it this way. I know 2 of them don't follow you, me, or Matt on Twitter or anything else.
Just
so
Skylanders Inquirer, or?
No, nothing.
How'd they get in?
They just know about the site, I guess.
Huh.
The site, but they just don't follow it on thing. Or they're just... I know the one guy's a real big Battlecast person, so I think he probably just looks for Battlecast news and saw it.
Well, either way, if that's the case, then you need a win for the community.
I agree.
On behalf of everybody that listens to the podcast. Also, next week, we're going to be in Seattle.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
I cannot believe how quick this has crept up. We've both been pretty busy this summer. It feels like we just got home from E3 like a week ago. And next Friday, myself and Valerie and Colin will be driving up to Seattle. Matt will be already in Seattle as of Thursday morning. You're flying in Friday evening?
Correct.
And
I'll be in there, I think, 9 o'clock Pacific time Friday night.
Okay, perfect.
Then my flight's at like the butt crack of dawn.
Sure.
Monday morning.
Jason number 2 and Lauren are flying in Thursday, I believe. Gondacris, Kick Ash, they're all coming out. It's going to be a party, my friend. We are going to tear Seattle up from the gum wall down.
And you know what the best part of all this is?
What's that?
You know, Matt wanted to give us our room number last time.
Yep.
He's splitting a room with me this time, so he can't escape me now.
Second best part, we're driving the minivan, so we have transportation all over Seattle. And I will only charge you half of what Uber would.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a friendly bonus.
See, Lyft is for sale?
Is it really?
Yeah, they're trying to find a buyer for it to tell investors. And Uber told their investors they wouldn't pay any more than $2 billion with a B for it. I didn't think it was really worth that much, but
yeah, that's it, huh? Just $2 billion?
Yeah. I don't know anybody who uses Lyft. I really don't. Everybody uses Uber. So
I know there's a few markets where Lyft is
more dominant.
Yeah. Just for whatever reasons. I don't know what the reason is, but
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Lyft is definitely not the first thing I ever think of.
I'd just be curious if the FTC would approve of if Uber and Lyft try to merge. I mean, I guess if they Sirius and XM merged, but
Sure.
I think radio is different than a ride service like that. That's killing the taxi industry. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's not going to, disallow other businesses from trying the business model, but it is definitely 100% killing the taxi service.
The one down in Texas, because Uber and Lyft are banned currently from Austin, Texas airport. And but there's there's other ride services, just not those ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the one, I forget what it's called, but it's silver something or other. It started as like a rent-a-car thing, but every single car is like the silver Audi something or other, and so that's it. That's all they carry in their lot. So what it started was that it was kind of like the Enterprise thing. We just picked a car and go with it.
Right.
But this time it was all the exact same car, so it really didn't matter which one you picked because they're all the same.
Huh.
They're all this nice car, which I'm sure it makes sense for like even the repairs because it's all the same car, so you don't have to really be trained on fixing one car. And so like the ride service, it's legit because it's that car,
Right.
Silver something or other, silver car maybe.
Huh.
It was an interesting concept. I was like, that's pretty interesting.
Sure. Speaking of cabs, I have a couple show recommendations for you here, Jason. I know you're a big fan of HBO.
Oh yes.
One, have you watched Vice Principals yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, it's so good. It's
so fun.
It's amazing. I'm almost mad at myself for not waiting until the whole season wraps up because I'm having a hard time waiting 1 week at a time for each episode. It's unbelievable. Kenny Powers as a vice principal is essentially what it is.
Burnt the house down. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. The whole scene is so funny.
Second one, The Night Of. Have you watched that at all?
It seems like it'd be too much for me to handle.
It's pretty intense. Do you like crime dramas?
I can somewhat, but again, isn't it like more like, I would say scary, but isn't it a little bit more suspenseful than just like your standard crime drama?
No.
Really?
Not at all.
I thought I heard like it's kind of like not like spooky, but like it's not a show you watch at night kind of thing.
No, there's no supernatural, no sci-fi element to it at all. No horror movie aspect.
Really?
Nothing.
That's why I haven't watched Stranger Things yet. I can't do it by myself.
Okay, yeah, Stranger Things definitely 100% sci-fi horror, that kind of genre.
Sure.
The Night Of there's a crime in the first episode, a murder. And the rest of the series so far, and we're like 7 episodes in, is just like the man that was accused of the crime is in jail, and he's basically going through the trial of the crime that he was accused of committing.
Gotcha.
So it focuses on the trial aspect, them trying to figure out, his lawyers are trying to defend him. They're also trying to figure out other possible suspects because everything points to him committing the crime. In the first episode, it doesn't show the crime being committed. It shows everything leading up to it and then everything afterwards. But there's this very small window that is not shown in the show where you're not sure if he did it or if somebody else might have done it.
Yeah.
You want to believe him, but you don't at the same time. And, so there's a lot to it, but it's total just crime drama in the sense of they're trying to... It's like a CSI meets Serial, the podcast, yeah.
Did you ever watch Motive?
No.
That was my favorite crime, because like crime drama is kind of like it's gotten played out a million times, and so I'm like, yeah, but Motive was really interesting. It was on ABC. It was like Canadian. It started in Canada, and it would come down, and I think it was in Canada like in the fall or the spring, and it would air on ABC in the summer. This is like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw the crime at the first thing they showed you who killed who and all that stuff. And then the rest of the show was trying to figure out why they did it.
Okay.
So when you as the audience, you knew who did it and everything like that. But then you had to figure out why they did it. Super interesting, because I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm like, okay, but still, it's got to be kind of lame. But you honestly would have no idea until like the last second. You're like, whoa, what? And like, it was crazy.
Huh.
I really liked it. Never picked off, probably because I think it was like a summer show. Like nobody really gets into a summer show, especially like a crime drama. Just it's not what people watch in the summer.
Right.
But I think after like 2 seasons, it kind of drew on itself too. But it had like a actual storyline on the backside of it all too. But sure. it was interesting because it's something that's not it felt like it was a kind of new way of handling the crime drama theory.
Right. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, the night of totally recommend it. It's the first episode's pretty intense. It has like they do show a lot of stuff that's going on within the jail where he's being held while under trial, and there's some Oz elements to it. Jail, prison. It's not a fun place, and they don't depict it to be fun. They show the gritty details of the inner workings of prison system. So, go in knowing that there are some intense scenes meant for adults only, but it's still good. And his lawyer, best part about the whole thing, John Turturro.
Yep.
He's the he's the kid's lawyer, and he adds like this certain amount of comic relief to it while still being like super serious. That's just perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's the type of lawyer that nobody... Like, when he takes the case, all of the other lawyers and judges and everything affiliated with, like, the whole court system and police officers, they laugh at him. They're like, you get people, bail money, basically, and get prostitutes, off on basic charges. Like, there's no way you're qualified to handle a murder charge. He's like, oh, yeah, watch me. So... It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Excellent.
You brought up the cab, and there's a cab in the show that it's a central focus point of what happened with the crime. So,
gotcha. One last show. Just tell me yes or no.
Uh-huh.
Last Chance U on Netflix. Did you watch it yet?
What? Last Chance?
Yeah, Last Chance U.
Last Chance U. Oh, I scrolled past it. I haven't watched it yet.
6 episodes, an hour long.
Perfect.
Super good. And I actually knew all about it. I didn't know that's what it was about, because it's like, not to give it away, but stuff happened that was over like Deadspin and ESPN and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, it's that college. But it's super good. They just renewed it for a second season, so it's like a real life Friday Night Lights.
Nice.
So definitely recommend that too. So.
Cool. If people need something to watch until video games start coming out.
And I will tell you, I don't know if I talked about this before. That right now. I don't know if do you know what my current Netflix binge is right now?
No.
Not even afraid to admit it. Halfway through Gilmore Girls right now.
Oh, yeah. Val and I just wrapped up a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man.
It's a phenomenal show.
The other night I was at home, and I'm like, legit, I just want to watch this stupid chick flick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just, for some reason, I felt like I was in the mood for one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want to watch some stupid, like, not like sappy, but just dumb, corny, like, chick flick movie.
You don't have to worry about the plot and the storyline.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Gilmore Girls coming to Netflix, and I try to watch like every Netflix exclusive because pretty much they're always really good.
Sure.
And And I was like, oh, it's getting revived there. I'm like, maybe I'll watch it. And like, I know some girls will talk about it, and I'll watch. I'm like, it's actually a pretty solid show. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm enjoying that. I won't get any spoilers, so don't spoil anything. On that show, might be one of my favorite characters of all time. Freaking love Kirk.
Oh yeah, Kurt, phenomenal. I went like 2 seasons watching it, and I was like, I love this guy. I love him so much, and
God.
he looked familiar, and I could not place him. For
I just figured it out today.
Yeah, when it clicks, you're like, oh no way, that is too good.
Because I haven't, because it's the problem with watching a lot of older shows. I didn't want to Google the actors' names or anything, or go to IMDb, because I don't want to accidentally see how many episodes they're in, because that would give away, not that, anyone's necessarily dying or something like that in Gilmore Girls, but, who might disappear, might break up, stuff like, I don't want to know that, because it's a spoiler.
Right.
And, so, like, I've been super careful, so I have to, like, be careful how I'm Googling it, so I don't even get even, like, a Google suggested thing at the top. But I was like, I have to know about Kirk,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's been done yet. And if it's not, I almost want to write BuzzFeed and tell them to do it because it screams a BuzzFeed article. I want to know the number of jobs Kirk has worked in the show because it's ridiculous.
At one point, I started trying to keep a tally. I'm like, nope, it's impossible.
So good. It screams a BuzzFeed article, and I really want to know. So I'm hoping somebody tabulates it.
Eventually, later on into the final season, last 2 or 3 seasons, at one point, like they start making that a joke within the show about how many jobs he has. And it's like, oh, you're so self-aware. And that's the thing with Gilmore Girls. And I want to say this because I went into Gilmore Girls not giving it any credit whatsoever. I was just like, that doesn't look like anything that's going to interest me, anything that's going to keep my attention, anything I really want to watch and spend time, watching. Because I have limited time and try to be selective with what I do with my time. And Val had just started watching it. She was like 1 or 2 episodes in. And I sat down with her, and I was just like, this writing and the acting and the way they deliver the dialogue is so on point that no matter what's going on, no matter how ridiculous the story may get sometimes, it's just so funny.
Lorelai's quick witty comebacks just get so good.
Yeah. Comedic timing like no other show I've ever seen. So perfect.
So I'll tell you right now. So for, speaking of pure stereotypes, any guys out there who like wives, girlfriends, or even if you're just by yourself and you're like, I don't think I want to watch Gilmore Girls, it's like Mean Girls. You really don't think you want to watch it, but you need to watch it. I give it my stamp of approval.
Yeah, it catches you off guard, for sure.
Nate, my roommate, for years, didn't watch it, Mean Girls. He's like, oh, it's stupid. I'm like, dude, Mean Girls is legit. It's not even like a chick flick. It's one of the funniest movies around. And so then, like, then he was kind of in that thing where he didn't want to watch it because he was afraid he was going to like it and didn't want to admit then that he was wrong,
Yep.
Eventually, he was like, he didn't even want to believe me because his wife was like saying, it's like, told him, he's like, well, you like a bunch of this dumb movies all the time. I'm like, no, dude, everybody likes Mean Girls. And so, like, it brought up with a couple of other guy friends were over, and they're like, you ever watch Mean Girls? So we, like, all just made him sit down and watch it. He's like, okay, it's pretty funny. I'm like, right?
Just let go sometimes, man. Like, that's what people need to realize. Like, it's okay to like silly, stupid stuff and just enjoy it. I mean, we're 86 episodes into a podcast about toys and how they work with the video games. Like, stuff is ridiculous in this world, and you could still have fun enjoying it. So just relax. Before we move on to the show, though, Jason, I would like to give a special thank you to our executive producer, as always, Jorge Torres. I hope the LA weather is treating him well down there. Haven't heard of any trips to Portland that he's had to make yet, but hopefully we get to see him soon. Whether it's because he's coming up here or when Val and I make our way down to LA, Anaheim area down in November. So big thank you to Jorge Torres for that. And our show sponsor, Devin Linchinski. You can find him on PSN or Xbox. Username Unrace, UNRACE. Now, in the limited edition, I made a joke about for those people keeping the PSN because of the $10 price increase. I got that email like everybody else did.
Yeah. I
skimmed it real quick and I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, they're changing their monthly price to $9.99 or whatever it is.
Sure.
Didn't think anything of it. Then several hours later on Twitter, I started seen people complain about the price increase. I'm like, who's buying it by the month? It didn't click for me at all that they raised the price from $49 to $59. I thought that's what I was paying the whole time anyway.
And who's paying full price? That's the other question.
Well, yeah, I mean, but still.
If you're paying full price with PSN Xbox Live, you're a fool. Darn fool.
Yeah. There's other options out there, folks. But, I mean Xbox Live is $60.
Like, yeah. But, like, it sucks that you can't, because I think now you're buying, when you buy, like, 12-month cards, aren't you buying a, like, dollar amount, not a month amount?
Yeah, it's interchangeable. Like if you buy like a PSN gift card, you could use it for like the store or the membership or whatever.
Right. So that's what the bummer is. Because that's what they're thinking ahead of time. Because like even when Netflix jumped ahead, it's not like you can go out and buy 3 months of Netflix and stack them on your card. Because you can stack like Xbox. I have paid off for the next like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just keep stacking it, but you're just paying it in amount. So a price change, you're not really benefiting yourself because it's still just going to take the dollar amount out or whatever.
Sure. Either way, I didn't think it was. I honestly thought that was the price, and had been the price. So it's like I don't see what the big hubbub is, but you know, $10 is $10, I guess.
People don't like price jumps.
Whatever. Let's do something fun here before we get to the news. A couple weeks ago, I offered up a contest for any folks out there, any listeners that would like to leave an iTunes review for us. All they had to do was leave a review on iTunes, and they could possibly win a $15 iTunes gift card. You know, you had brought up the fact that maybe they want a Google Play, some sort of, however money works on Android systems. I'm not sure what kind of crazy currency you guys use over there, but you know, I'm open to negotiations if you want maybe an Amazon instead of iTunes. Look, either way, I don't care. I'm giving $15 away, and we're going to do it right now. Randomly selected a review, and I have come down.
First of all,
yes,
to say thank you everybody for the reviews. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Gift card or not, always appreciate the reviews.
Absolutely. It helps us. It helps the show get noticed. It helps bring in new listening audience, which builds our community, which means there's more people for you to interact with and talk with and meet and hang out with and play games with, and everybody benefits from it. The winner of the $15 gift card is a review left by ITGI. Itgi? The review reads as follows. From start to finish, incredibly entertaining and most importantly, informative about all Toys to Life games and family friendly. My only source for news, breaking or otherwise. Josh and Jason make a great team balancing each other and moving through all the pertinent news each week. They have great guests on the show to share their opinions and information. So thank you to Itgi for that review. Please send me a DM on Twitter at Toys for Games, and we will get you squared away with that. And like Jason said, thank you to everybody who left reviews. It really helps everybody in the community, and we definitely appreciate all the nice words that you guys had to say.
Indeed.
Also, we're keeping the streak alive of 5 stars. I'm just saying that.
We had at work today, or this week, had some guy randomly leave a 1-star review on our Google review page for our business. No context what it, like he wrote this comment about how we were crooks and liars and stuff.
Sure.
No idea who this guy is. Not a clue what he's mad about. So we like left a comment like, sorry for the inconvenience, but if you want to call us, we'd be happy to fix whatever we apparently did wrong.
Right.
Or like, my cousin came and was like, "How many of this is?" I'm like, not a clue.
Well, there's only like 36 people in your town, so I'm sure it can't be that hard to find.
We're gonna do a door-to-door campaign.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back style.
That's right.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Bad reviews just show up at their door. Did you leave this review? Maybe just keep the violence down to a minimum, if you will.
Just got to the Gilmore Girls episode where she left the review in the Yale paper about the ballerina was like a hippo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. What's a good thing to compare a Ballard?
Oh, goodness gracious. That show. I'm going to move on. Let's get to the news of the week. We're going to start off with Disney Infinity, the Disney Infinity part of the podcast, as it still remains until further notice, is sponsored by our friend James Holian over in the UK. You can find him on Twitter at Infinity Museum. I'm sure he's getting excited about Lego Dimensions, at least. He may not have Disney to look forward to, but Lego Dimensions is right around the corner. So, James, I hope you something is satisfying your craving for Toys to Life. We don't have really Disney Infinity news to talk about for obvious reasons. There just isn't news going on. But I wanted to take a moment here to hype up a possible guest that we're going to have on to talk about all things Disney Infinity related. We're hoping to do it next week. Tonight, it just didn't work out. We knew we had a shorter show. We have time limits that we're trying to fit in. So next week, we're hoping to get this person on. It's not JV. So everybody could just relax and breathe a little bit now. Like I said in the limited edition, if it was JV, you all would know about it. 100%.
100%.
JV, if you're listening, you're welcome to come on this show anytime to talk about anything you'd like, Disney Infinity or not. JV, if you're at PAX West, I will be finding you.
Gosh, that'd be amazing.
If you're anywhere in the vicinity, JV, let us know. We just want to talk. We just want to talk, JV. We want to hang out. Just bros hanging out. That's all we want to do. But no, next week's we have a special guest. They're going to talk about Disney Infinity. Should be a good conversation. Add a little bit more light to some things, and it'd be good for memory's sake, you know. So
Indeed.
Hope it works out. I think you guys will appreciate it. Moving right along, let's go ahead and jump over to Amiibo, Nintendo's Amiibo. This part of the podcast is sponsored by Michael O'Driscoll. You can find him on Twitter at amiibo_museum. I'm sure his museum is desperate for some new Amiibo to be added.
Indeed.
It's getting a little thin on the news portion of Amiibo, but we got something to talk about. What's going on this week?
Yeah, so the big news really that happened this week is just happened out today. Our good old friends over at the CSPI reports, consumer safety, whatever it is. But it shows the stuff that we used to show before that showed the manufacturing dates and how long Amiibo are being manufactured for. Got updated today to show Palutena is getting another month of production completed here in August 2016. So again, it shows that it should be coming because again, obviously it's being manufactured. Hopefully that means it's coming soon. So
right.
Have that to look forward to, whether it's a single release, being a bundle release, as you said in the limited edition, whether it's going to be a non-Amazon exclusive now. You know, who knows what their plan is with that. But if you missed out on that and you want the US version or anything like that, hopefully it should be coming soon.
Yeah, because that was one of the few ones that never broke exclusivity. So
yeah.
Curious to see if it shows up it doesn't feel like it's going to pop up at all stores. Like
Sure.
It doesn't feel like the demand is there for it to show up at all stores. I don't see a lot of retailers ordering boxes of this Amiibo to put on their shelves, but
was that the last high demand one?
Oh boy. I can't remember if she came out before or after the Fire Emblem ones. Robin and Lucina.
I feel like this came out before Palutena.
Possibly. The Amiibo timeline is a disaster in my
I
head.
just remember coming home and like beelining from work to make sure I got home by 5 o'clock and then went live at like 5:01 and 30 seconds, you know, like people were like freaking the heck out.
Mm-hmm. And it lasted several minutes.
Yeah, I think it was like half an hour, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
And that's when everybody was like, oh, we're done here.
This is it. Megigyo Yoshi was definitely after.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was a big thing. Literally.
Big bang.
Pun intended.
Yes.
yeah, so curious to see where she pops up, and I would not be surprised one bit if it's still an Amazon exclusive. Just it makes sense for them to be sold through Amazon. They have the space and the capability of selling it.
And the robots.
Yeah, so makes sense. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We also have some clearance sales.
Yeah, so looks like Target's while they're pushing the clearance out for their Disney Infinity products, they are also looking to take out some clearance on some amiibo products as well, marking some other slow-moving, newer ones out. Again, hopefully just try and make some more peg room space for new amiibo lines that are coming down the line. But so we saw, they used to sell some Splatoon online. Just double-checked Kirby. Kirby in my local Target showing is $9. So it looks like it's again, Target clearance is kind of like Walmart clearance. It's a store-to-store thing, so your store may or may not be participating.
Right.
But if you want some, check it out. Might be worth your take a gander.
Yeah, I saw the newest Splatoon 3-pack, the double pack with Callie and Marie, and the newest single pack of the Splatoon amiibo all clearanced. Not drastic clearance, but enough to get people to buy it if they have been waiting.
Sure.
Only thing that I thought was funny was they still had shelves full of the Animal Crossing amiibo,
right.
And those were still full price. I'm like, I don't understand.
They gotta Amazon those things and put them $4 a pop and get them out of there.
Yeah, I don't understand the thought process behind that, especially with the Splatoon ones coming out so recently compared to the Animal Crossing ones. But I don't know. Like you said, it's a store-to-store thing. Who knows what they're thinking and what the strategy is. But I don't know. If you're at a Target, be sure to check it out, and you might be able to score some amiibo that you had been waiting on for cheaper. That's always good.
Always good.
Moving on, we're going to head over to LEGO Dimensions. LEGO Dimensions part of the podcast is sponsored by our friend Christopher Long over at Long's Toys. You can find him on Twitter at the letter C, Long83. And be sure to check out his YouTube page, youtube.com/user/longstoys. Something is brewing with Christopher Long. I'm just going to throw that out there. We have been in communication about something recently. And I'm not going to show all my cards yet. But I'm just saying we may have something interesting going on with Christopher Long coming up here soon.
There's always something going on with Christopher Long.
If there's something interesting going on, you could probably feel safe to assume that Christopher Long is somewhere nearby.
That's a fact.
100% fact.
Just like you can always expect Alex to be late. Christopher Long, there's always something going on.
Yeah. Alex, look, we know you're going to hear this in like 3 weeks, and then you'll respond in about a month. So, no big deal. LEGO Dimensions. So what's going on with LEGO Dimensions?
Yeah, so LEGO Dimensions this week, so we had Gamescom, so we got a lot of false. We didn't get anything, actually. Still surprises me. But yeah, so we got some video today from Andy over at Family Gamer TV showing off some closer look at the Harry Potter Battle Arena. I feel like some of the footage was new, some of it I think was repeat. I think it's more just an extended edition of what we saw before at like E3, but it shows off the Harry Potter Battle Arena, some more stuff with the Quidditch map. One of the Quidditch maps, I should say. And then in addition to that, also got our first pictures randomly from his YouTube account. So he got press access and some from Lego, but shows I hadn't seen the pictures before. I don't know if you actually watched the video or not, but some pictures of the battle arena for the A team. And I definitely hadn't seen the pictures before, but somehow I guess they're available in one of the press kits or something for Gamescom LEGO Dimension. I have no idea. So there's pictures of that if you're gonna go check it out. But pretty cool design there for it.
My guess is that Jimmy had something to do with it.
That's probably true.
Did you see Arthur Parsons' tweet the other day about the real reason why Jimmy hasn't been working recently?
No, was he drinking again?
It was a picture of Jimmy with it looked like some sort, not margarita, some sort of mixed drink in his hand.
Yeah.
And
he always looks so depressed and all his drinking. Like he's never smiling. It's just
it's like, Arthur, I think your buddy Jimmy might need a hug. So I reached out and I made sure that both Arthur and Jimmy knew that we here at Toys for Games are big fans of Jimmy, And even when he's getting thrown under the proverbial bus by what I assume to be his boss, Arthur Parsons, we still love some
co-game
Jimmy.
directors.
Yeah. Well, they say co-game. Do you feel like there's a co-relationship in there?
Well, because Jimmy was ahead of it last year, and Arthur came on board this year. So I think Jimmy is like doing all the public stuff. So I think he just lets Arthur take the lead, and
it's like saying like you have co-captains when one of your captains is Tom Brady and the other one is like a defensive lineman who people can't even remember his name. It's like, which one's the real captain here? Just saying, you know. Do we know if they're going to be at PAX West?
I haven't heard.
I mean, I assume they're going to be, but I haven't heard anything either way.
Let's see. Lego Dimensions PAX.
This is live in real time.
Is Lego Dimensions going to PAX West, or do I have to pull out my savings for you guys to come? Arthur Parsons, hot. Unfortunately, not sorry.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yep.
Well, that sucks. Maybe they'll still be roaming around. I mean, I can't imagine Jimmy has anything else to do.
True story.
Anyway, that's Lego Dimensions. It's coming out soon. Our friend Andy.
Who's Aaron Ellingwood? Do you know who that is at all?
Aaron Ellingwood, no.
EME221?
Mm-mm.
The second result for that is from April 24th. And it says, are you into Lego Dimensions Amiibo Skylanders? Come to Cuttlefish for the 1:30 p.m. panel. Now with 100% more Greg Miller. PAX, hashtag PAX East, which was our panel.
Yeah.
It's like, who's this?
Hey, Greg Miller panel featuring Toys for Games.
I guess that's what it was.
Hey, whatever. We had a good time. I don't care why people showed up. It was fun regardless. And we have 2 panels at PAX in about a week and a half, so we're going to have some fun with those as well.
Amy said this weekend, because going to visit Amy this weekend, she said she has some homework to do. She's like, so might have to bring something to entertain yourself. I was like, well, I have a panel in a week we haven't touched yet, so probably working on that.
Sunday night, man. I was talking with Matt the other day. Our only competition Sunday night as far as panels is concerned is You Don't Know Jack panel. I feel like we're going to be okay. We're going to be good. I know people want to go to panels Sunday night, so it's going to be fun. I'll have a full rundown up on the website of our panels, what to look forward to, kind of a tentative schedule, possibly some sort of meetup or something. I know there's a few people in our community that's definitely going to be there, so be on the lookout for that, toysforgames.com. Moving on to what we've all been waiting for, Jason. It's time to talk some Skylanders. Skylanders Imaginators. Sponsored by our good friend Matt Sonnenberg, who you can find on Twitter at SCLMatt, or his website, sclmatt.com. But I would like to point people to SkylandersCharacterList.com, because once again, if you ever need anything regarding character bios, lineups, pictures, all that fun stuff in a nice, tidy package, SkylandersCharacterList.com is the place to go. Also, big shout out to Matt for joining our good friend Rob over at CoinOp TV the other day, talking on a live stream about Skylanders Imaginators.
I heard through the rumor mill that you behaved yourself the whole entire time.
100%.
Utmost professional was the words I heard.
Yes. Quick rundown of the comments that I left in the chat room, because a lot of Skylanders fans in there wanted to talk Skylanders, listen about Skylanders, learn about Skylanders. In no specific order, I brought up the Wii version of Skylanders Imaginators. I brought up the Portal compatibility between different consoles. I brought up the missing Thrillipede. I brought up Light Core Hex. I brought up Yawn Traps. Shall I continue, or getting a gist of what I was dropping in that chat room?
Pushing all the good buttons.
A lot of people were ignoring me. Let's just put that out there. They didn't want to talk about those sort of subjects. I thought it was fun. I got Rob to actually read a couple of the comments by accident. Like, he started into it, and like before he didn't pre-read them, so he just saw, hey, Toys for Games, this is gonna be enlightening. No, it wasn't. At one point, like, he stopped and he was like, I don't know if he's trolling us or not, but yeah, there's definitely no Wii version coming out for Imaginators, so I'm not sure what he's talking about. Oh, Rob. And Matt took it like a champ. I don't know if Matt was actually reading the comments or not, so I don't know if Matt was actually in on it until Rob read them, but definitely go back and check out that video. If you could see comments in the video, it's worth it. Just throw that out there.
Oh, it's a good time.
So what's going on with Skylanders, Jason?
Yeah, so two things this week. One, the achievements leaked for Skylanders Imaginators for the Xbox 360. Fortunately, not the Xbox One, because I was hoping the Xbox One might be able to get some screenshots. Actually, let me check, see if they was leaked yet or not. But yeah, so the achievements for Skylanders Imaginators leaked out there. I won't spoil anything here if you're trying to keep secret of everything, but 42 achievements, I'll at least say that is what it is. And so, but yeah, basically you're running the mill there, but Matt did a nice roundup over at Skylanders characterlist.com, showing you all different achievements grouped together, showing you the different levels, stuff like that. The one thing a lot of people are talking about, and they were talking about this beforehand, that there's fewer levels this game than there has been a couple other ones, but does not necessarily mean there's less content. As for even Supercharged are a lot longer levels than other games were. So just because there's less levels doesn't mean it's gonna be a shorter game. So some people are freaking out, thinking it's a super short game because there's not very many levels.
Yeah, Superchargers had lots of levels, but it felt like several of them were packed together into like one level. It felt like, but it turned out to be 3 or 4 levels. So yeah, don't base anything off of that. And really, like, each Skylanders game is going to be about the same length.
Yeah.
They're not deviating too far from that formula. It is still developed as a kids game, so you're not going to get Witcher 3 120-hour type of gameplay out of this. I mean, unless keep playing and whatnot, but like the main story, main campaign, or whatever, it's not. It's going to be what it always is. So relax, folks, relax.
Yeah. And they the other big thing is obviously the big topic this week. Sorry, I was distracted by a Shopkins Inc. tweet. I didn't understand what they were talking about.
Shocking that Shopkins Inquirer distracts us during a podcast.
They said I misspelled your name. Like, when did I misspell your name? And because I said gosh, and so they're saying I misspelled Josh because I said gosh. I was like, what are you guys talking?
Just shake my head. Shake my head.
So yeah, the big story this week, the one I happened on Friday. I waited a little bit on the weekend. Still waiting in time because I'm getting my editorial up. I was just gonna do one giant post, but I felt like I had to get the news out and then try to keep that separate from my full opinion of it before I tear Skylanders a new one. But yeah, the news finally got confirmed this week. Something that we've been talking about, theorizing was going to happen, but it finally came out. Was upfront about it. Your Skylanders Imaginators creation crystals, which is what you use to make your Skylanders Imaginator, main character there. There are 10 versions available, as we've known. There's one for each element.
$10 each.
$10 each. So each crystal, if you want to make a fire element Skylander, you need a fire element one. If you want to make a tech element Skylander, you need a tech element one. That's all fine and dandy. That's Skylanders. That's Toys of Life. That is what it is.
Sure. All completely optional.
Yep, absolutely. You get the fire one in the starter pack.
Yep.
In the Dark Edition, you get 3. So you get some. You get Fire, Life, and Dark. Yes.
Sure. Sounds great.
And so you can choose the elements off of those. But the thing is, when you first put it down, you choose your battle class first. I have to put your element down. So you have a little constellation, star, whatever I'm going to call it there. And you choose if you either want to be a brawler, you want to be a sorcerer, you want to be a bazooker. Yeah.
How did we both come up with that at the same time?
It's the dumbest name in the world. Any class like that. And then you choose that for your Imaginator. And then now it says, when you click it says this decision is final. Do you want to choose this yes or no? That cannot be undone later. Choose yes or no. Once you choose yes, this is what we just learned now, is that is set in stone on that Imaginator crystal. You can't go back and change that. So if you choose fire and you choose a brawler, and then halfway through you're like, you know what? I'm going to reset this character. I want to make it into a sorcerer this time. I think that'd be more fun. Sucks to be you, not be able to change it back to a sorcerer. You have to go and buy out another creation crystal for $10 in the fire element.
Question.
So, yes.
Do we know of any opportunity for people to try the battle classes before you lock it in and save it to the crystal?
No, they have not said anything, but they've shown nothing, so I do not think there will be any chance for you to do
Okay, so they're expecting people, essentially, to select a battle class without having the opportunity to try all of them and see what best fits their play style and lock it in and make it a permanent thing.
Correct.
Just want to make sure that is 100% clear.
Yeah, so their rationales are thinking, well, you know what a sorcerer plays like, and you know what a brawler plays like. And then, which we'll get to the quote later, they're saying there's not a lot of gameplay difference between them as far as like attack and defense and statistically wise, so they don't really care. Because they feel like you're just, attacking differently, but it's all going to affect gameplay wise the same. But we'll get to that here in a second. So you get the fire one, like I said, in starter packs and choose from there. But yeah, so like I said, you can reset. You can always go in and modify the look of your character. You can change the catchphrases. Apparently, you can even change the name, I believe, even at any time you want. You can change the name 1,500 times. Looks like you can't change, like reset the level or the air experience points, stuff like that. That I can like somewhat see, I guess, maybe. But just like maybe it's harder to calculate with it. I don't really know. So a lot of stuff is locked in there. But let me before I go into full blown crazy mode, let me read Toys for Bob co-founder Paul Reach about the decision, speaking to Game Informer, who was very critical of the decision. I'm going to try and do my best to not editorialize what he's saying. I'm going to get through it first, then go back and laugh in his face for the ridiculousness of this stuff he's saying.
Okay.
Start off right off the bat, because you might need to pull your car over when you hear this statement from somebody who's trying to sell you something. We wanted to make sure that there wasn't a sea of options and that there weren't so many different factors affecting the gameplay of the character that you couldn't focus and create what we thought of as a class, he told me. If you could constantly shift absolutely everything about it, you would almost lose the fun of having a particular kind of character and the distinctions that we have. So as we were building it, we didn't know to what degree people would be changing their characters. What we found is that they settle on a physical form for the base character pretty fast. They'll adjust gear because it has stats, and if something shows up like a new tagline, piece, or voice, they might experiment with that. It sort of resolves itself in less than an hour, and then people stick with that character and press forward. It is primarily to give people a direction. We think that helps define the name you give it, the appropriate voice, the color set you choose. And then the writer of this article, which was, let me scroll up, Mike Futter, says, we confirm that resetting isn't an option. You can still reassign owners, but you can't tear an Imaginator back to his base form or reset level. Then back to the quote from Paul Reek, saying, quote, we allow changing of ownership, but we're not resetting the Imaginator. You can tear it down all the way back to the star form. The idea is that they start as a constellation and you pull them out. They're made of stars so that you can make them more physical. You can go back to that as much as you want, but you can't go through the reset functionality. And then editorialized again here says the star form Reach is referring to is what you see after you choose the class, but before applying any of the many customization options. These include head, body, arms, legs, ears, eyes, and more. And saying the process takes as long as you want, blah, blah, blah. You know, some people spend 2 hours creating a character. If I spend more than like 5 minutes in Skyrim, I start getting antsy. You know, like get in, get out.
Sure. But there's definitely going to be people that will dedicate hours to making their perfect.
And credit to them, because I wish I was one of them. Yeah. I just can't do it. But let me back up to that.
Are you going to go full rant yet?
No.
Okay.
Just teasing the first sentence here.
Okay.
This is Shopkins Inc. went 9. They went their normal thing, just to make fun of this statement. We wanted to make sure that there wasn't a sea of options. You know what, guys? We don't really want you to feel like there's too many options. We're going to simplify it for you. In that there weren't so many different factors affecting the gameplay of the character, so you couldn't focus. Oh, good Lord knows that I'd be so overwhelmed by choosing the 10 battle classes that I want to be able to focus on what gameplay I'd want to style because there's so many options. Thank you, Paul, for thinking of me.
Especially...
Just think if he ran a Subway, you'd have 4 different vegetables and that'd be it.
Yeah, but you can have them any way you like.
You can put tomato on lettuce, but then you can't go back. You know, you said tomato first, so customer's not always right. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
It's weird that is even an issue that he thinks, because the elemental class doesn't really affect anything.
Right.
You know, like that the element is least important. The battle class is actually how the character is going to play, and you know, their fighting style, and that is crucial to, you know, how people play the game.
Right.
So crazy.
So here's the thing of it though.
Before you go on rant, I need to stop you.
Okay.
Because we have a couple emails.
All right.
And I'm not going to save them for later. I want to read them now.
Sure.
Because this is our main topic this week.
Yeah.
First one comes in from Bert Thorndike. Bert writes in and says, "Dear Toys for Games, while I enjoyed hearing all the Skylanders announcements made during Gamescom, I thought I should express my concerns over the 2 worst pieces of news in my honest opinion. First, and the one that people are probably most upset about, the confirmation that creation crystals are locked into Battle Class once chosen. This decision seems incredibly short-sighted to me. They have completely destroyed the resaleability of the crystals. What is one going to do if some years from now they want a Fire Brawler Imaginator, but can't get one because all the fire crystals they can find are smashers? One never had to look for a Skylander with specific upgrade path before, so why now? This is clearly a way to force people to buy more toys. I can't speak for everyone, but my original plan was to get exactly 10 crystals, one of each element and a different battle class for each, and I fully intend to stick to that plan no matter how unhappy I may be with my element battle class combination. Second, I'm upset about the removal of hats from the game. I realize it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but collecting all of the hats was one of my favorite post-story activities in Skylanders. It seems odd that a game focused so much on customization would remove one of the few customization options they already had. Would like to hear your thoughts."
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to read the second email.
Go for it.
Second email is from our friend BDK.
What up, BDK?
He says, "Hey Josh and Jason, it's me again. So it looks like Crash and Cortex aren't the only guest characters involved in Imaginators, as Mr. Rossetti from Animal Crossing has invaded the game to make sure you can't reset your Imaginators battle classes. In all seriousness, I personally don't have a problem with that because I've planned ahead and know what I want beforehand, but I understand people's frustrations and concerns. It would be really sucky if someone chose a battle class, decides that they would rather have something else, but then realize that they have to buy another creation crystal just to try it out. Not a good move on Activision's part, and the response of Paul Reich the third gave as to why was clearly something he was forced to say to cover up the real answer, which was Activision wants more money. Remember, Activision, Toys for Bob, and Vicarious Visions are all different people, so lumping them together when one makes a bad decision wouldn't be fair. What stings even more is that apparently in earlier builds you were able to reset them completely. The trick I linked you to earlier this week seems to work for the traps, which also weren't resettable, but obviously isn't proven to work for the creation crystals yet. However, it's something to keep in mind. While this decision does not affect my hype for the game, sorry Crash and Cortex are just too much of a deal sealer, it's had quite the impact on the community, who have stated their disdain and started making online petition, surprise surprise, and even boycotting the game. First off, if anyone is upset over it, they should write letters to Activision instead of shouting online. Might do jack, but it's more effective than slacktivism. Secondly, boycott the decision, not the game itself. Making an Imaginator is completely optional, and you could still play through the whole game without one. Thirdly, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of videos online when the game comes out, showcasing each battle class strengths and weaknesses. So if people don't know what they want early, they can easily look up gameplay videos to help make a decision. Well, that's all I have to say about this situation. Not telling people to be upset at the decision, but I think some people are making it sound worse than it really is. I'm still incredibly excited for the game, and one bad decision doesn't change that."
Yeah, so the hats thing is, it is funny. I forgot all about that.
My only thought with the hats is because they added different it was a wearable thing essentially, right. But that added stats and whatnot to your character. So I think they wanted to lessen the confusion about hats and hats that you put on your Imaginator when you're building it and restructuring it. Like how do you distinguish? Oh, this is a hat that you build, but this is a hat that you collect.
hat versus the hat.
Right, yeah. So I think it wasn't that they wanted to get rid of them, it just didn't make sense in terms of creating the whole Imaginator from scratch to begin with.
And what was the first person's name? I
apologize. Bert.
Bert, that's right.
Yeah.
Bert, legit, I'm gonna say both as you. I'm still buying the 10 crystals. I'm still gonna buy one of each mold because each element, because that's what I would have done no matter what the decision is. So don't feel bad or pressured or anything like that you're buying 10, that you're supporting the decision, because that's, again, if you would have done that anyways, that doesn't really affect their decision. So that's, if you still want to get one of each element, or if you want to be like me, one of each element of every mold, like the traps, that's totally fine. But I'm not going to rebuy a thing because I then want a different battle class for that element. So if light only has one mold, I'm only getting that one mold. I'm not buying multiple things to have multiple battle classes. That I'm not doing. But yeah, also for Toys for Bob, which I know what BDK was trying to say, but Vicarious Vision and Toys for Bob are both owned by Activision, so yes, there are 3 separate entities, but they're still one organization.
Sure.
But yeah, so to go back on it, as BDK, some people said, it's not. This is one of those things. It's like, people get mad saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Right? It's not a big deal, but it's the principle behind it all that is the big deal. And this is kind of ties into your community question, which we'll get into later. You can make an argument, valid argument, that I would somewhat disagree with you on, but you can make a valid argument that Toys to Life games are nothing but cash grabs. That it's, outside of the thing, really you're paying high price for DLC or content that should be in the game. There's an argument, like we said, compared that with Lego games. And you pay $50, $60, $40 where for a Lego game, and you have to now spend hundreds of dollars for a comparable game with Lego Dimensions. So that's a completely valid argument. It honestly is. Mm-hmm. But there is zero, absolutely no gameplay mechanic or anything like that they have to do it this way. You're not cheating in the game, being able to reset it. It's not going to break the game. It's not going to give an unfair advantage. It's not going to do blah, blah, blah. There is no way, zero, that they can argue to me from a development standpoint that, hey, we have to do this because it's going to affect the gameplay in this. Zero. I've thought about it multiple times this weekend. I cannot find a thing. The whole, there's too many options, bullcrap, shut the fudge up. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That there's too many options. What, 10 is too many options? Get the heck out of here. And the thing, to take it back on here, the main target demographic for this game, more so than any other Toys Life franchise, this is a kids game. More so than Lego Dimensions, more so than Disney Infinity, more so than Amiibo. And you cannot tell me when the kids select that yes on there that they have any idea what they're going to be doing. They have no idea.
Right.
They think, in my opinion, when I would read that, if I didn't know this, I would think it just means, oh, that character, I can't reset the battle class.
Sure.
No duh. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's like anything else you create. But that's not what that means. And that's very dangerous and stupid. Because, again, parents are going to be aren't going to buy this thing and be like, hey, watch this, come and watch it, because once you choose this, you're stuck with it. I'm going to make sure you're going to choose that properly. No parent's going to do that. They're going to tell the kid to play Skylanders 6th version. They know how this game basically works. Still some confusion with some stuff. But the general premise works the same. Go for it. And then when they're like, hey, I want to play something else, because that's the thing. A lot of kids, parents might buy only one creation crystal for them. Like, you get one in the starter pack, and it's known as the fire one. Kid might be the game, like, hey, I'm going to replay it again, which people do this with MMOs all the time. You beat the game, go back and choose a different class and do it that way. You can't, So it's not about halfway through. That's valid. When you choose people's characters, they kind of choose, modify some little stuff. But people like to replay your dumb game, Right. That's what they're supposed to do. Not be able to play with the other stuff. That's ridiculous. But yeah. Yeah, it honestly offended me that we want to make sure there wasn't a sea of options. What the frick does that even mean? It made me mad. It literally made me mad. And that there weren't so many different factors affecting the gameplay of the character. Okay, so if there's no gameplay effect, then why the fudge do you care? Why does it matter then? Let us choose. And then what was the other line? If you could constantly shift absolutely everything about it, you almost lose the fun of having a particular kind of character. That's why you require us deleting it. We're not asking us to like randomly make our Skylander, bug face less shoes halfway through and stuff like that. That's fine. Everybody's accepting that fact. It would be ridiculous if I could change his class all the time. But then on the flip side of it, what are we gonna do with Chaos? Isn't he just gonna tear face in this game? So who gives a rip about gameplay if you're gonna give us a freaking ultimate guy? But yeah, the whole paragraph is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. Made me stupid mad. But again, this is going back and forth. This is one of those moments I hope you take for granted what Disney Infinity did so well, and that is going to be missing hardly. Lego Dimensions has a chance with it, but it's missing hardly with this. And again, this is for Skylanders does not care about you. Period. They do not. You cannot make that argument to me that they care. They've missed Yawn Traps. They've missed Thrill Pete's not coming. Time to get over it. It's not coming. Thrill Pete's not coming. This thing, they do not care about you. They do not. Whether you want to make an argument saying it's Activision, blah, 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 I don't care. Comes down to Toys for Bob, comes down to Vicarious Vision. They're the ones making the final decisions. If they want to argue with that, have a JV character come out and say, hey, we fought for you. Activision's being the jerks. JV did it. Somebody else could do it.
Yeah.
But they do not care about you. They care about lining the wallets. They care about all that more than what they care about the gameplay. They've not done one thing to show that they care. They said they did this whole thing like, oh, everybody's been asking for it, creating this character, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But that's the other thing. You're making this big whole thing about kids sitting there drawing, and they're trying to make it seem like they care and trying to make this community effort. But then they bull crap like this. It is embarrassing, ridiculous, and I feel terrible for anyone who calls themselves a Skylanders fan, because this is a slap to the face. They do not care about you.
That sucks. It sucks to think that. But
right.
You have to realize it at this point.
Right, and this is important. People got mad at me, literally mad at me on Instagram, stuff like that, for getting mad about this Thrill Pete thing, saying, oh, it's just a mistake. I don't know how many more clues you want. I don't know how many clues you want. They don't care. They do not care. This game, Disney Infinity had passion to it. Had passion, had deep care. They made some decisions that some people might not agree with. Some stuff was corporate, but you could smell when it was corporate. You could tell it was corporate. You could tell it's not what they wanted to do. They didn't come out and tell you, but you could tell. Lego Dimensions, you could tell they're trying to do fan service. They really are trying. It says before, and this is my opening paragraph of my editorial, I can defend store exclusives. I can defend retail or country exclusives. I can defend platform exclusives. I can defend I can defend event exclusives. I can defend employee exclusives. There is no way you can defend this. Zero. From a gameplay fan standpoint, there is not a way you can defend it. If you can defend it, send me a DM. I'd love to hear you, and I'm not going to freak out. I just want to see if somebody can defend it from you from a gameplay standpoint, to be able to let you reset it. As far as the used market, it's kind of a mush argument. You can't. Where do you buy used traps at?
I mean, GameStop would be the only place I could think of.
They don't sell them. You can't trade in your traps at GameStop.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
I didn't know that.
It's a mush argument. You can make an argument about friends, but who really cares?
Sure.
As far as the friend, I mean, that suck. But I mean, as I said, like 10 years down the line, you're not going to be playing this game 10 years down the line on your system.
Yeah.
So it's all very, very, very minor details to it.
Right.
But again, like I said before, it's not so much about the creation crystals itself, but it's about the idea behind it and what they're doing. That this is now the third year in a row that they're pulling bullcrap like this.
Mm-hmm.
And not caring about you, the consumer, you, the player, who's lining their wallet. So I mean, I don't know. So again, buy the game. The game's gonna be great. I can't wait for the game. I'm not gonna be buying more thing. I'm not gonna be posting the petition because I hate online petitions. There's one out there. You can Google it. It's there. Tweet at them all you want. Go for it. The Activision CEO is on Twitter. Rail on him all you want. D-tag me. People are railing and are tagging me at the same time. I get it, but just D-tag me. Yeah, it's so again, like the thing is that this isn't like an MMO or something like that, where he says before you can change stuff, that's great, you know? And I understand that from like MMOs, but if you want to change your character, guess what? You have to delete everything you do, and you gotta start all over, but guess how much it costs you? Zippo.
Right.
This does not cost you Zippo. This costs you $10. You know? And
it's the equivalent of PlayStation not allowing you to change your PSN name once you make it.
Right.
No, even worse, because, well, no, I guess it's like Microsoft, because Microsoft lets you change it, but you gotta pay $10 to do it.
You can do it once for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is no gameplay mechanism, but there's still time they can change it. If they can come out and make a valid argument to me from a gameplay standpoint why they need to make this decision, I'll let it go. But if they pull up crap because we wanted to make sure that there wasn't a sea of options, get out of town. Yeah. There's more characters available to purchase than there are battle classes. So really, if you want a sea of options, you should be using like 5 characters and that's it. Because apparently 20 or what? No, 31 characters. I don't know, Paul. That seems like a sea of options in my opinion. And also, sea of options, 7 starter packs. That was a sea of options. You didn't care about that. Obviously, that was Vicarious Visions. I don't give a rip. It's all the same thing. He was involved in those decisions as well. Don't tell me he wasn't.
Is Sea of Options going to be the phrase of the year for 2016?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to be using it all the time.
Man. Okay.
Also, actually, hold on. Paul, I will give you some credit. Because I appreciate you not giving me a sea of options to purchase Thrill Repeat or the Yawn Traps. So I do appreciate your valid point. Because zeros, I guess, is better than a bunch.
And we don't have to think about buying Thrillipede, so one less option there.
Thanks, Paul. You're the best. Go ahead and have the PR team send me some more NFL players instead of caring about the people that buy your game. Go ahead, Paul. Is he on Twitter? He's probably not. A little chicken.
I would highly doubt it at this point. So what could they do to right this ship, in your opinion, as the voice of the community?
Take the 20 lines of code, add it to the thing, choosing a reset button, and you're done.
That's it, huh?
Like, what else do you need to do? Just fix a dumb decision.
Do you think it's something that they could patch in afterwards?
100%. They can patch it any time.
Okay.
There's nothing that says they can't.
Would you feel better about this if they let you, while you're building your Imaginator, test out some way the battle classes?
Nope.
Before you hit yes?
Nope. Because people still aren't going to know. People still aren't going to know.
What if they put 3 warnings on screen? What if they put more warnings on the screen than Pokemon Go?
They put a freaking banner ad on the Nintendo Dual Pack saying it's only compatible with the Wii or the Wii U, and nobody read that. So nobody's going to read. You know what nobody reads? It's terms and conditions. You scroll the whole way down, sign your soul away, and you hit OK. My phone, remember, I don't know if it's shared story on this or not, my BlackBerry, I had to type in the words BlackBerry and all this other stuff to confirm that was me typing in my password wrong. I kept doing it to see what was going to happen. It wiped my phone. I found that out. But, nobody's going to give a rip. Also, Paul's not on Twitter. Chicken.
Smart, maybe?
What did he used to work? But no, here's the thing. I will tell you this, though. I would respect them more if they came out and made this decision and then changed it than if they never made a decision in the first place. I would, because they haven't done a single thing like that.
Right.
So that would actually speak huge and change my opinion on Skylanders. Because right now it's not very high.
Sure.
Because that's the thing, that it's Skylanders being the king or not, they're the ones giving Toys to Life the bad name. They are. Fully them. Wasn't Disney Infinity, not Amiibo, not LEGO Dimensions. It is Skylanders.
Yeah. Man, it
eventually
sucks.
left TSR to work on computer games, Electronic Arts. Okay, now I know why your brain works that way. You worked for the evil corporation during their evil years.
It's such a stark contrast too with like what LEGO Dimensions did with the hire a hero thing. Right? It's the complete opposite. LEGO was like, oh, people want to not have to buy every character in order to still play the game and enjoy it how they want. So let's add this one thing in where they could spend in-game currency to play and use some of the characters without having to go to the store and buy the characters physically and still get the same experience.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, we don't talk numbers on this, but as the end before, there's 10 elements. This is my softball question. You can't even strike out on this one. 10 elements, 10 battle classes. So if you want to get one battle class for one element, which everybody's making this argument, but it's an invalid argument because none of you will do this anyways. How many crystals would you have to buy?
100.
Right, and that's the equivalent of how much money?
That would be $1,000.
So Paul, if you want to write me a check for $1,000,
right,
I'll go ahead and I'll change my opinion on this. But it is stupid and embarrassing, and they should feel ashamed, and it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. It's just dumb.
It's a shame. Because there are going to be so many kids out there, like you say, that are just going to create their Imaginator, and they're going to be locked into that battle class with that first crystal that they have in the starter pack, and that's it.
You're lucky not on Twitter, Paul, because I'd be screenshotting you and sending you a picture every single time someone complains on my page, and I have to deal with it because you guys make dumb decisions.
If there's one thing we know on this podcast, is don't make Jason's job even more difficult than it already is.
Stupid. The dumbest thing. Again, as I said before, I can defend the element thing. It's fine. You have to buy a different element to choose one on that. That's the way Skylanders works. That's the way Toys Life works. We're going to get used to that. 10 years from now, we're going to look back and be like, this is the dumbest game idea. Why did we ever spend so much money on this?
Yeah.
But for now, we're accepting of it. Remember, 10, 11, 12 years ago, we made fun of horse armor for paying that much. We're paying for much less than that, We're paying more for much less functionality than that is. And now it's like it's an everyday thing. Paying however much for freaking amiibo cards, how much people have sunk into that. So that's fine, like I said, but it just makes me so mad because, again, there's no rationale to it.
Right.
And it's just the dumbest argument. And it's what makes me so mad when you try to defend it and you come up with this dumb stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. What happens between now and launch. If enough people are vocal about it.
So let me put it this way. If you're more mad about Supergirl than you're mad about this, and if you play both games equally, you need to get your priorities in check. Because this is bajillion times more ridiculous than a starter pack or event exclusive character. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Because again, this is not about the item itself. It's about the principle behind it. As I said before, I warned you back with Thrillpede. Skylanders doesn't care about you, so stop acting like they're Disney Infinity and they care about you, community, stuff like that. They have no community people, and the PR person that Matt and I had, they just left their job this week. So
really?
Yeah. Good luck to whoever the new PR person is, and with me, you're in for a treat. So you get ready. No more coloring pages or late night pictures of Bronco players from that lady. Well, she was doing her job, so I'm not really attacking her.
Right.
It's not. She's just typing stuff up and hitting submit. But Skylanders gonna be a PAX? I hope they are.
Yeah. We need to talk to some people for sure.
Skylanders PAX. Let's see. Nothing on Twitter about it.
We got to move on.
Just our panel.
Let us know though. Let us know what you guys think. If you were potentially going to be picking up Skylanders, does this affect your decision at all? Does this affect your decision on how many crystals to buy? How does this impact you as far as a consumer and a fan of Skylanders? We want to know. We want to hear from you guys. We got, like I said, we had a couple of good emails earlier, so speak up. Let us know. We are curious.
So as BDK said, feel free to like layers. If you are one of the petition people, go ahead and sign that. I'm not going to be sharing it, but they're available for you. If you wanted to share my article, and I don't mean this in a selfish, way, be happy to have you. Would be honored if you retweeted and shared it once that goes live, and push it to them. I don't even know who to contact because again, they're not involved with the community, so they're not listening to you. So I don't really know. Maybe we'll just go outside their headquarters. Where are they at? Isn't Toys for Bob overseas?
Can we do what Crash did to Nintendo headquarters back when Crash Bandicoot games came out? With a megaphone and an old beat-up junker van?
Yeah, man.
Just scream at the top of our lungs.
Novato, California. Where the heck is that?
Novato?
Yeah. That's what Toys for Bob is.
Weird. Gotta move on. But that rant, that topic, inspired the Twitter question of the week, the community question, if you will. This is going to be sponsored by our friend Johnny Trujillo.
Trujillo.
You can find him on Twitter at Amiibo Amigo. Also check him out at Mitomo Diaries and Brick Dimensions. Still knocking it out of the park with his Mitomo Pokemon Go mashup photography.
How did he do the Raticate one today?
No idea. I don't know how it. No idea. Photoshop, maybe?
I guess so.
Possible.
Freaking using hacks.
Probably iOS. For the community question, I offered up another mystery box for the winner of the response of the week. I posed the question, a little bit more serious tone this week. Do you see the Toys to Life genre in total be nothing more than a giant cash grab? Why or why not? And of course, that was inspired by you, Jason, who used the term cash grab pretty harshly over the last couple days regarding Skylanders decisions. So I wanted to see what people thought about just like the idea of, that term cash grab. So a lot of responses.
Yeah, man.
You want to read through them? You want me to read through them? How do you want to do this tonight?
I'll read through them.
All right.
Long's Toy says, no, I don't. It's a way to bridge together two market, toys and video games. Malik Rose of Debt says, that's a yes or no answer. Yes, because I'm sure they make good money on the figures. No, because he would pay $5 or $10 per character without anything physical in hand. Good point there. He said, why Toys Life games are successful. They don't make the money on the game; they make the money on the toys. Disney Infinity, although they, also they made a crap ton on the figures, but not so much on the game itself. So that's why a lot of times with Disney Infinity, I think that the gameplay suffered some because they're making more on the figures, and that's what they cared about more, which is hard to argue with. But Shapkin says, yes, I hate cash grabs. Can smell them from miles away. FYI, Shapkin Season 5 is ending soon. Buy yours now before Season 6.
Public service announcement.
Yeah. Keeper of Wind says, yep, while they're nice, they were used to mass DLC features in games like Splatoon and Legos. While they're neat, we have locked content and fully paid games we paid for already. $89.99 for the Get Lego game, only to be locked out of the rest of the content. Honestly, it's all DLC. It's up to the person if they want to buy it or not. But they were designed to push expensive DLC. Green Armadillo says, not a grab if they're upfront about the model, but I suspect few love both the game and the toys enough to justify the cost. Jeff Grimes says, yes, but I still love it. If the companies cared more about the community, I would say no. An example, the Thrillpede, Disney Infinity, Apple TV support. Oof, that still is bad.
Ouch.
Tori says, definitely, it's a way to sell figures as DLC. As much as I love collecting, no way I'd buy these types of sets without the games, unless it became more integrated like Infinite Arms Go or Beast of Balance. Tariox says, no, as long as they make high-quality figures to collect, they have a value outside of in-game functionality, thus value to me. Amiibo Clint says, that's my thought. Doesn't seem to be much bigger or deeper than what we've already seen. Oh, well. Chris says, we have no problem spending more on Toys Life than the PS4. People complain about games being $60. Value equals fair exchange. Grab equals ripoff. Billy DJ Dog says, at first I did, but not now. 200 plus figures later, I see it as a collection of figurines, not in the fuzzy rabbits my grandma collects. Mike Servanator says, no, it's more of a novelty to set these apart from others and find ways to get players excited. Figures draw people in. Same Figured says, yes, we could buy digital DLC for less, but they want us to pay more just because there is colorful plastic. Toys Life and More. Ben Anderson says, Activision just led to charge, and now people are able to enjoy the games. Did I read that backwards? I did read it backwards. I apologize.
Yeah.
Says, no, many people have always wanted to play with figures in a game at the same time. People can play in game or out of game. Activision just led to charge, and now people are able to enjoy the games. Lone Goldfish says, no more than any other collectible toy, though I still think Trap Team went a bit far. Snowguard77 says, yes and no. As a collector, I would have bought some of these. As a gamer, it makes some games more expansive, but more expensive. My sus big sauce, sure, I think, Depends. I think amiibo are the best in my opinion because they actually have good design. Disney had some not so good figure models. What are you talking about?
I don't get that one.
Yeah.
Disney Infinity figure models were top notch.
Top notch.
Okay, I will say the first line of the Marvel figures, like Captain America, Thor, I could see.
You know, amiibo had giant pea sticks all over the place too. So
yeah,
you have to get used to it.
Yeah.
Sean Daly says it depends on the implementation. If it brings something wholly unique, then I say go for it. Otherwise, it may not be needed. And finally, Red Eye 070 says only if they started designing a game, someone had to buy every single character to 100% complete them. Yeah, a lot of good points. One thing in there that I agree with a lot of people saying on that, it's hard to say they're a cash grab in the sense that if you like the figures, because people have been spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on just straight up action figures that don't do anything.
Right.
So these actually do something. So it's, you know, if you're enjoying the collecting of the figures themselves, yeah, I mean, it's something you would have done anyways. Now you just get a little bonus with it.
Sure. Here's the tough part.
Yeah.
We have to pick a winner out of all these. It's going to be tough.
It's very tough.
Do you have one that stuck out to you?
I do not. Do you?
I kind of do, yeah.
All right.
I want to give it to Keeper of the Wind.
All right.
Benefit of using 3 different tweets, but I still appreciate the thought and the angle that was taken with their answer. So, at Keeper of the Wind, please get hold of us, and I will get you a prize mailed off to you. Yeah, it is something that I think people are aware of. You know, like the figures do essentially act as DLC. Sometimes 100%. They kind of hide the paid DLC, like in Splatoon, because everybody's so excited about all this free DLC that's always coming for Splatoon. But they did hide some things behind Amiibo that you had to buy. So, it is that essentially explains the toys to life genre as we know it. So,
yep. Yeah, I mean, like I was always a fan of Piratus when they were blind bags.
Yeah.
When they were, I've been on publicly about this before. When they were in those little sets, it's 100% cash grab. There's no value to them, in my opinion.
Right.
You're just putting something that could have been in the game now in a little physical disc that was more of a pain in the butt. So, and like, you know, even like the traps, I didn't mind the traps so much because it was kind of fun. You know, you trap them in there, they're in the speaker, you know.
Right.
So as those,
it still kind of felt like you had something.
Yeah, you had something with it. But like the one I'm nervous about, like the treasure chest, like what the fudge is that bullcrap that they're pulling this year? Like it's that screams cash grab because there's no point in it. You put it down, unlock some items.
I'm telling you, man, if those are one-time use only things, people are gonna lose their minds.
This is the dumbest thing.
And it's quite possible that they are.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So it goes back and forth. I mean, some stuff like, and again, some people, which I'm 100% in those, I still enjoy physically placing a thing on the thing and changing my character versus just going in and swapping it in a menu option. It just feels unique to it. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay still with the genre. Some people don't. Okay, when like I said, that's different. But there definitely is some cash grabby parts of it before. And like we said even before, said before about other amiibo that there is content locked behind it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all how you look at it. At the end of the day, most people like the Disney Infinity figures. People have been begging just to continue just as the figure line itself. So it shows it's not really cash grab because people like the figures.
Right. So thank you all for your excellent responses. It's a good topic to talk about here. We don't do it enough, but it is important that we talk about this genre as it really is. You know, we love it. We are fans of it. We get excited about stupid stuff, but it is a business first and foremost. We have to realize that. We have to be aware of that, and we have to let you guys not forget that from time to time. So yeah, because it's easy. It's toys.
We're talking about cash grabby. A lot of us, and especially obviously people who listen to this podcast, are huge fans of the genre itself.
Yeah.
And Skylanders doing these decisions, like with the creation crystals, is putting bad taste in the mouth, and that's what's going to kill this genre if they're pulling dumb stuff like that. So that's why this is making me so mad.
Because people will get the intention or the idea that that's what the whole game is just
Right.
paying money for ridiculous things.
And it doesn't have to be.
Nope. It's avoidable.
Skyrim's making a killing all the time, so they don't have to do this to make more money. And again, who's going to go out there and buy multiple ones? It makes no sense.
Sea of options, Jason. Sea of options. Speaking of sea of options, it's time to move on to the Inquire This segment of the podcast. I have no idea how that transition works, but hey, if it worked for you without me pointing it out, thumbs up. Inquire This. This is where members of the community send in trivia questions relating to the franchises that we talk about on this podcast. I read them. I pick the trivia questions. We try to stump the expert, Jason, with the trivia questions. Some of them get quite hard. Some of them seem like they're going to be hard, and Jason gets them immediately. Always fun to see how this plays out. I'm going to give you the option here, Jason. We have 2 to pick from here tonight.
Okay.
2 that I have set aside. We have 1 for Lego Dimensions and 1 for Skylanders.
Feeling Lego Dimensions tonight. I'm done talking about Skylanders.
Lego Dimensions, the palate cleanser, if you will. This is sent in from our friend Guadalupe. Spoiler alert. This is not really about Lego Dimensions at all. It's about your friend, possibly the best game character in the history of video games, Sonic the Hedgehog. Guadalupe writes in and says, Traveler's Tales have made many games before jumping into the world of Lego. In honor of Sonic making it into Lego Dimensions, what are the 2 Sonic games Traveler's Tales made before putting him into Lego Dimensions?
Now, why is this funny, Josh?
Because there's not a chance you know this.
No, there is.
No way.
Yes.
How do you know this?
Why do you not pay attention to our Patreon hangouts?
Did we talk about this in a Patreon hangout?
Yes.
Were you a part of that? Because you missed one.
No, I was part. This was like 2 times ago.
Okay. All right. Show off then.
They were both. No, one was for Sega Genesis, one was for Sega Saturn.
I don't have the systems listed here.
Okay, well, there you go.
I just have the names of the games.
It was Sonic 3D something, and Sonic R was the other one.
Sonic 3D Blast.
There it is.
There is no way you remember that from that Patreon hangout.
Yes, Matt and I, because we brought it up about something. We were reading something. I'm trying to remember what we were reading, and it said something about some quote we were reading. It said something about that it's like Traveler's Tales or TT Games' 3rd entry into the Sonic game. I was like, what the frick? They didn't make any Sonic games. And we were talking about something else, and Matt said they did, and he did the research and it said it was the 2 games. And I was like, oh, interesting. And
I remember the Sonic part. I just do not remember actually naming off the 2 games that they were that
Matt,
made.
yeah, because I kept ranting about something, and Matt went back because he was curious.
Sure.
He went back and looked. It was the one where I brought out my special item, which I still haven't shown yet.
That's right.
That made Matt mad.
That's right. Wow. All right.
Joke's on you.
You got me. Thank you, Guadalupe.
That's why I thought you were laughing, because I thought you.
If you'd like to be a part of the Patreon hangouts that I tend to forget about, you can do so by being a patron of us. Patreon.com/toysforgames.
Matt for doing the research on this. So
yeah.
Credit to Matt.
Good job, SEL Matt.
Otherwise, I'd have no idea.
As a matter of Matt.com.
But it's one of those things. Remember, I like dumb, useless information. That's dumb, useless information.
Yeah, but it was useful tonight, my friends.
It was intriguing.
Finishing up tonight's podcast, we're going to go over into emails. Email part of the podcast is going to be sponsored by our friend Evan, also known as the Lone Goldfish on Twitter, who just started getting back into streaming games, Twitch TV/the Lone Goldfish. I think he was playing Skylanders the other night, so please check him out over there. And I know he's going to be in Seattle for PAX West. So we're definitely going to have to say hi to him in person. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Getting to the emails. First one is from Jeff Grimes. Writes in and says, "Hey guys, I recently watched Atari Game Over documentary about the ET cartridges buried in a landfill."
I still haven't watched it yet. Those are one of the most fascinating stories. I was following that minute by minute updates when they were doing that day.
Major Nelson was down there, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that paid for it.
Right, yeah. But he was there on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On site. Yeah.
For each franchise.
Do you have one of those at all?
What's that?
The ET Atari game?
No.
I bought one off eBay for like $3. It's like mint conditioned in the box.
Nice.
Just because it's not really worth anything. It's just a hilarious story to me.
Sure.
So I wanted to get one of those.
Jeff says, for each franchise, which figure could you see being discovered in a landfill one day? His picks. Do you want his picks first, or do you want to list your own?
Let me go with mine first.
Okay.
One of each franchise?
Yeah, each franchise. So we got Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Amiibo, and Lego Dimensions.
Amiibo has got to be like Tom Nook, one of the new Amiibo cross. Before that, it'd be hard to say the Smash Brothers line because we always make fun of like Mario and like Yoshi stuff like to be in pet codes, but then eventually they disappeared. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's got to be like Tom Nook. For Lego Dimensions, Doc Brown seems to be on clearance everywhere, so I don't understand that. But you can get him for like what's down on Amazon, $1.93 or something like that. So we'll go with Doc Brown. Skylanders, light core hacks all day, every day.
That's the only right answer.
The only right answer. And there's dumb Toys R Us chrome shroom brooms. That from Giants.
Yep.
The fake variants.
Right.
And then Disney Infinity, right?
Yep.
I still think it's been with Rebels figures. I always saw those all the time. Those ones are always cheapest. I always sell in different places that would go on sale. So I'm gonna say Kanan with that.
So his picks were Stealth Elf, Kanan from Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
All Animal Crossing 3-packs for Amiibo, and Iris from Lego Dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Chima characters are like.
Yeah, definitely.
But people keep saying that Chima's apparently pretty good, but I don't know.
I don't think anybody bought them. That's the thing.
I should say everything. The Lord of the Rings sets they're at Five Below. They're under 75%. I'm shocked those didn't sell well.
Yeah, I feel like we're just a couple years removed from...
Too far from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
To where people care anymore, you know?
Yeah.
We've moved on to, like, Game of Thrones and that kind of stuff to where, like...
Because I thought they were going to be some of the hottest selling ones. But... And I think because a lot of people have Lord of the Rings, like, Lego sets and stuff, they're just like, I don't really need them.
A couple years ago, I think they would have been a lot better.
Yeah, 100%. Vince has the Evil Tower, from Mordor, Seeing Eye. Mm-hmm. He has that Lego set. It's one of his favorite sets he has. So
is that pretty big?
Yeah, it's not as big as Disney Castle, but it's pretty big.
Sure. Skylanders definitely a light core hex for me. Disney Infinity Kanan is a solid choice. Amiibo, I'm gonna throw out the Mii Fighter 3-packs. Because those nobody went and bought those when they came out. They fell flat. That was like the beginning of the end for the Amiibo craze, I think.
Remember the time people were freaking the crap out because like 2 stores were selling them early?
Oh yeah.
Freaking out.
The retro 3-pack with people that just sat on shelves and crazy.
Retro 3-pack's the funniest. That's definitely when it died.
Yeah.
If you ask me when the Amiibo craze died, it was that point. People freaked out, and then you could have bought another 300 of them, and your store still wouldn't have sold out.
That was the last one I pre-ordered because pre-ordering is so 2015. Thank you, Jeff Grimes, for the email. Next emails is from Sean Doley. Writes in and says, "Hey, Toys for Games cast. I'm writing in to get your opinions regarding a rumor about waves." First of all, I know Sean Doley's from the UK, but he writes rumor RUMOUR.
You?
Drives me crazy.
Get out of here.
Proper English, my friend. So American of me. I'm writing in to get your opinions regarding a rumor about waves 8 and 9 of Lego Dimensions. It has been rumored that we will be getting a total of 24 packs and 28 characters by the end of year 2. I'm curious if you think that more or less packs will come out in the final 2 waves this year, especially as at least 23 packs are definitely coming from the info that we have already. Below is my rough prediction of waves 8 and 9 if this rumor is true. So wave 8 he has predicted to be Lego Batman movie story pack containing Batman, Lego Batman movie fun pack containing Robin, who can switch into Teen Titans Go Robin, Goonies level pack containing Sloth, can also switch into every Goonie, Teen Titans Go team pack containing Beast Boy and Raven, Teen Titans Go fun pack containing Starfire, and Lego City Undercover fun pack containing Chase McCain. Wave 9 he is predicting to be Powerpuff Girls level pack containing Blossom, who can switch into Bubbles and Buttercup. Real talk here. If you'd asked me what the 3 names of the Powerpuff Girls were, not a chance I'm nailing them.
Really?
Not a chance.
Oh, man.
I just don't think I've ever been familiar with Powerpuff Girls. I know what they are. I respect them for being a thing, but Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, huh?
Love Powerpuff Girls.
Harry Potter fun pack containing Hermione. Ghostbusters fun pack containing Rowan. Adventure Time fun pack containing either Princess Bubblegum or the Ice King. Knight Rider fun pack containing Michael Knight. And the Beetlejuice fun pack containing Beetlejuice. Thank you for reading and keep the Toys to Life community awesome. I completely forgot Beetlejuice was even a thing.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the thing about it at all recently?
No, what?
They still have the figure done. There's no finalized Beetlejuice figure yet.
Wow.
That's why. It's one of the reasons why they haven't shown anything, because it's not done yet.
Jimmy,
So,
get back to work.
Arthur says he's like, they don't have a single one in the office because nothing's done. I guess they haven't found a finalized design yet. So that's my thing. I don't think they even know finalized pack yet.
Sure.
I think they're still working on it. I still think we're gonna get one more franchise at least that they haven't announced yet. For this season. So I have no idea, not a clue, because I don't think it's set in stone yet, and I think we're getting more to it. So it could be anything. That's why I think they keep changing the numbers, like different rumors showing different stuff. Like people are freaking out, like, oh, what's this mean? Because they don't even know at this point.
Right.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows, indeed. Next email. This is from Sam Fingard. It says, hey, my name is Sam. I'm a big fan. I have a story and a trivia question, which I save for a later date. He says, my story is about LEGO Dimensions. I went to Dave & Buster's, which, if you do not know what that is, it's an arcade where you win tickets to redeem for prizes. So anyway, I saved up a lot and spent my tickets on LEGO Dimensions. Now I want to buy them all. Sam, how many tickets did it take to get LEGO Dimensions at Sam & Buster's, or Dave & Buster's? That's what I want to know.
And how many, did you see my, oh, I guess you did see it. The cooking set at the arcade near me?
Yeah.
Legit, though, if you got it. Hopefully
Sure.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. So Sam, let us know how many tickets it costs to get LEGO Dimensions. But that's cool. That's cool that they have those kind of prizes. It's been so long since I paid attention to prizes at arcades.
I'm trying to think that the biggest thing I ever got from arcade tickets. One time I won like 3 or 4 times on like one of those spinning wheel like bonus things, and so I hit like a ton of tickets. I don't think I even got anything good. I think I just got like a buttload of small things.
Yeah, I never had the patience to save up tickets.
I was just watching a YouTube video. It's from years ago. It's probably in the late 80s, early 90s. But an Australian man that won the lottery twice. Did you see that?
I saw a headline. I didn't read into it.
It's a long time ago, but he was really bound his luck, like lost his job. I think he had some surgery thing. I think he was even on the brink of death. Maybe even died and got brought back, like had a heart attack kind of thing. Like all stuff was going wrong with him, and his life started turning around. He got a girlfriend, got a nice job, blah blah blah. Anyways, won like $2 million or something like that, lottery or something or other. So the news story was doing it as like a pure human interest story, and so they're covering him. So they try to get some B-roll footage. Thought it'd be fun to take him back to the place. I don't know if it's the exact same gas station or not, whatever. But we order another scratch-off ticket. Scratches it off. Wants $250,000. But it's the funniest. Like you have to see his reactions in an Australian accent. I'm not even gonna try to attempt to do it. But he's still like, I just won $250,000. Like he's like, I'm not joking. He's like, oh my lord, you know. It's so funny.
That's awesome. Next email. This is from our friend DMU Girl 2008. Some rapid fire questions for you, Jason. If there was a Lego Dimensions and Skylanders crossover, what would it be like?
Confusing as all heck. But it would be interesting. Size wise, it'd be weird. Like, the Lego people stay small, do they get big? Skylanders, when they come in, do they look like Legos? Are they just weird things? It'd be the hardest crossover. But I assume they would have to make the Skylanders characters look like Legos, which would be impossible.
Right.
But Stuff Up could pull it off.
Stuff Up could pull off anything. Amiibo, since we have Cloud, are there any other Final Fantasy characters or creatures you would like to have as a figure?
I have no idea.
Chocobo is the only real answer, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, did you see the best tweet I saw about the Final Fantasy delay? How pissed people were about this? And I because Final Fantasy got delayed 2 months.
Right.
And someone's tweeting, I don't know if I retweeted or not. If I didn't, I should have. Said, like, people, and it was like, in option A, company releases buggy game, people complain, why would you release a buggy game? Option B, people delay game 2 months so they don't release a buggy game, people complain that you delay the game. Like, what are they supposed to do? If they release it normal, you complain why they release a big old day one patch with all these bugs. So they delay it to not do that, and then you get mad that it's delayed.
Yeah, so true.
Internet.
People just can't be happy. Lego Dimensions.
Who cares?
Lego Dimensions says, will you be swapping the build on your portal every time you switch between story packs and other content?
Nope. I'm switching to, obviously the new one when it comes out, and then switching to the Fantastic Beasts when that one comes out. That one might stay, because it's pretty legit, but I don't know. Lego Batman one's gotta be pretty good.
Yeah, the Batcave's gonna look amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Next email, second last one. This is from our friend Alex at Atari Alex, sponsor of the Collector's Edition podcast, which is going to be recorded tomorrow. Not tonight, tomorrow night. Depends when you're listening to this. Alex writes in and says, Dear Josh and Jason, as a follow-up to last week's question, if you could choose one dead Nintendo franchise to reimagine as Skylanders, which would you choose? I would go with Duck Hunt Dog from Duck Hunt. Based off his moveset from Smash Brothers, he seems like he'd make a good tech element character, kind of like a mix between Hot Dog and Boomer. Or they could be Skylanders and do something really wacky and crazy with him that I would never think of, and would end up being a random element that seemingly makes no sense.
Pikmin could be fun.
Ooh. I like that. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Dead Nintendo franchises. Metroid?
Yeah.
It's a dead franchise. Ridley and Skylanders?
Not like Metro has like game out right now or anything.
Not that Nintendo acknowledges. Last email from Guadalupe says, hello guys, no question today, but I just wanted to express two thoughts I had this week. One, I bought everything for Lego Dimensions, and the only two packs I had to pay full price were the J Fun Pack and the Back to the Future Level Pack. Apparently, the Back to the Future Level Pack is out of stock in many stores, and Best Buy has even removed it from their website. Two, and this is the coup de grace of all the emails that I have read here tonight, Jason.
I'm ready.
Get your butts ready for this one. The 2020...
Are you telling me to get my butts ready? Because I only have one.
Everybody out there listening.
Okay.
You specifically. The
all
one
right.
butt that you're in possession of. The 2020 Olympics are going to be hype. Mario got me pumped, and now I'm saving up to go there. So I'm calling it right now, Tokyo Meetup in the 2020 for Toys for Games community. We could meet at the new Nintendo Land that's supposed to open in Japan's Universal Studios around that time. Thanks.
I'd be down for that.
Mark your calendars, folks. 2020.
The one thing I was looking at today too, because I was reading this stuff about NBC's coverage and stuff, which I honestly didn't have. People were freaking out all the time about NBC's handling and stuff. Didn't bother me one bit. but people, because they're saying the ratings went down, they're blaming it on millennials. Meanwhile, BBC's rating went highest it's been in like 3 or 4 Olympics or something like that. So obviously there's a disconnect somewhere.
Right.
But after this one, it's South Korea, 2018, Tokyo, 2020, and then Beijing, 2022. So it's 3 straight Asian Olympics, which is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awful for the U.S. because everything's gonna be happening in the middle of the night. But
we'll complain about something either way.
But so we can alleviate that by going.
Yeah.
So
2020 Tokyo Toys for Games meetup. Put it on your calendars, folks. It's going down.
I'm curious how the Mario thing is going to work out. Like,
it has to be the Olympic mascot, right?
Well, that's what somebody said too. I mean, I guess they can do whatever the frick they want. I just can't think they would. But
why not?
Who knows, man?
They're going to come up with another character, just a random character.
Sure, why not?
Mario is so ingrained in that culture.
Japan loves mascots more than the U.S. does. And the U.S. loves mascots, so they can make something new.
Yeah, they could. But man, just think, Nintendo's going to push hard for it.
Yeah,
hard. So, either way, this was a fun show, Jason.
It was a fun show.
Relatively quick and easy. Appreciate that. I know it's getting late over there on the East Coast. But before we sign off, I'd like you to let the people know where they could find you and all of your hard work can be found at.
Yeah, you can always follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. You can also look for Jason Inquires on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything like that. You can also obviously head to Brick Inquirer, Skylanders Inquirer, and Infinity Inquirer for all your specific Toys Life needs.
Sounds fantastic. You can find me on Twitter personally at The Noise with the Y. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Toys for Games. Email us middle of the night, middle of the day, whenever you get that desire to drop a line. Do so at podcast@toysforgames.com. Be sure to check out the website, toysforgames.com, as well. The Facebook group is poppin', thanks to our buddy Ken. You could check out what's going on over there. Join the conversation, join the group, meet a whole bunch of new friends. Facebook.com/groups/toys4games. And if you'd like to support us and what we do for the community, for everything that is Toys for Games related, you could head over to Patreon, patreon.com/toys4games, and see how you can help and make everything that we're doing here possible. Big thanks to Jorge Torres, our executive producer, once again, for everything that he does to keep the show running and keep it free for you guys, essentially, because, man, I couldn't even imagine charging you guys for this gold. These rants are free. Remember that.
Rants are free.
When you hear this and go to bed, whatever night or day that you listen to this podcast, just remember, these rants are free. You have a sea of options out there for podcasts, and I'm so glad that you guys choose us.
Hope you're not listening before you go to bed, because I know I need to have some time to go cool down. So, sure, hopefully you do as well.
With that being said, I'm pretty certain that we're going to have a show next week before we head off to PAX. That's still to be determined. Like I said, if we do, we will probably have a special guest. So stay tuned for that. But until next time,
I will say too, for me personally, people know I'm going to be disconnected for the next couple of weeks just because it's going to be chaos here. Going to Penn State this weekend. Next weekend, obviously, we're going to Seattle. The following weekend, I'm going to Bristol, Tennessee. So I'm going to be a busy man next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's nothing new to the listening audience. I promise you that.
It is not, but...
Yeah. With that being said, Jason, until next time, happy hunting, collectors.